Hello everyone, David Reed here for Dial the Gate. We are at the Gen Con Indianapolis Convention 2021, September 16th through the 19th. And we are at the Wyvern, or Wyvern if you prefer, but it's actually Wyvern gaming booth, showing off for the first time to the world the Stargate SG-1 role-playing game, officially licensed by MGM. And I have one of the people who is responsible for bringing this to life, Mr. Brad Ellis. Could you join me in here, sir?
You bet.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am well. Thank you
you
so much for being here and making this happen. What is it like to finally see this thing physically realized after 2 years of development?
Wow. It is... It made me tired.
I would hope so.
Yes.
But has it been worth it?
It is absolutely worth it. The reactions that we've gotten here at the show is just amazing. The excitement, the people walking by going, "You have a Stargate?
Right.
You have a role-playing game?"
Right.
And it just goes from there. So, yeah, it's just all of the hard work that we've done over the past 2 years, as you said. You know, you're doing that behind a computer screen. You're working, you're working with the community and stuff, and you're talking to people online. But this is the first time we've got to see people.
Not seeing people.
Yeah, actually seeing people react to the game, and they are so excited about it, and they're just happy that Stargate, has life.
The thing that's blown me away, and you'll see what's indicative of this in just a minute when we show you the condition of our shelves here, are just, and I mentioned this to you earlier, just how many people know the product and recognize what this is. And they're like, oh, so-and-so mentioned it. And back in the day when I got into it, everyone was like, oh, that's the one with MacGyver, right? If they knew it at all.
Right.
And that's not the case here at Gen Con. I don't know if it's this particular group of people, they're more aware of the brand or not, but everyone around here, pretty much everybody knows Stargate.
Yeah.
And so they already have at the very least a passive connection to the brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think do you think that that's helped translate into sales?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the gamer community in particular, they really get deep into the lore of things, and the fact that they, and obviously if they like sci-fi, they're gonna they've watched Stargate, and just the whole community coming together with the gamers and Stargate. There's once you put those two together, it's like there's something special there.
I'd like to start over here on this side because I'd like to show off just what a job that they've done. This is day one, the end of Thursday.
There's one.
3 more days to go.
So the booth is a bit of a mess right now.
So follow us over here if you will. So, hello folks. Now these two played Stargate earlier. Did you guys have a good time?
Yeah, it was a blast.
Awesome. Great. What do we have here?
Empty shelves. We have behind us empty shelves.
We were like, should we just go ahead and start restocking now? I'm like, well, let's show the success of this first. You guys have 1,000 pieces here this weekend to sell.
Yep.
And the inventory has moved faster than you expected.
Yeah, we haven't done the totals for day one yet, but it's obvious that we've got a whole nother side that looks just like this that's empty. So we're really excited about what's going on.
And do you perceive that this is just going to go even faster this weekend as even more people show up?
Yeah, typically the way the cycle works here at Gen Con, people shop on their first day to see what all's around, and then they come back, the Saturday, Sunday, and really go. So it's going to be really big in the next few days.
Nuts. I can't show all of the surprises of the booth here. Some of these you're going to have to come to check out yourself if you have the opportunity still. But for sale, we have the standard edition and the extra edition of the core rule book. So Brad,
this is the standard one, but we have the limited edition. We only had a run of 1,000 of those. It was for the Kickstarter backers. We have a few left, and once they're gone, they're going to be gone. Right. So the other thing we have is the patch.
Yes. Is this a convention exclusive, or is this something that you'll be able to get online later?
Yeah, you'll be able to get these online later.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the Phoenix site, which is the equivalent of an alpha site, but it is far more advanced than an alpha site.
Yep. So it's a Velcro back, so you can put it on whatever, or you can sew it onto your uniform.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and these are you can make a part of your Stargate accoutrement at events. So this is exceptionally cool. I want you to show off some of the accessories that are coming with the availability of this game.
Absolutely.
So there's some physical stuff that Stargate fans whether or not they play, might want to get their hands on just for the collectible value.
So everything in this case is being produced as part of the Stargate game. So they're all accessories, except that they're not quite in the distribution centers yet. So we literally, this is all we have. We have this case and another case on the other side. We had these flown in.
Got it.
The other on the slow boat from China.
Got it. With the waves and all, it takes time.
Yeah, it takes. Yeah, and COVID and everything.
Right.
It's like a thing. So these, I'll start with the dice. Those are awesome.
You talked about these forever. These commemorative Stargate dice.
Yes. I actually want to get in here. So.
Okay. He is opening it up, folks. One of these actually look very close to an AG-3 satellite. I commented on when I first saw the design. I was like, this could be like an AG-1 or an AG-2 for crying out loud. But I mean, you've got is this a Roll-20?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the more typical of the Dungeons and Dragons gameplay.
This is your D20.
So what is this?
That is a D4. So it's a 4-sided dice.
Wow.
So
okay.
You very carefully, because it's extremely sharp.
Yeah, look at that.
You throw it up in the air, and then whatever it lands on at the top, that's what it rolls.
So it's a 2, but it almost looks like Stargate characters.
Yes.
It's very similar in design.
Yes, that was intentional, obviously.
It works.
Yeah.
So these are extremely cool. So how many different kinds of die are there?
So there's the D4, D6, D8, there's two types of D10. There's the straight D10, and then there's what's called the D100, or the percentile dice.
Okay.
So you can roll up to 100.
Okay.
You roll both your D10 and your percentile dice together, and it comes up with a number between 1 and 100.
Okay.
And then you have a D12, and then you have a D20.
Got it. Now we've got rings here. Yep. Very accurately done, I must say. I'm really pleased with them.
The chips here, these are our determination points. A lot of role-playing games is very combat heavy.
Yeah.
But Stargate, there's a lot of
diplomacy. There's a huge focus on diplomacy
and social situations. So we added a lot of plot mechanics into the game, and one of the things that we added was determination points. So you're able to actually wager your determination. How much do you want this thing? Like, how much does it mean to you? Mm-hmm. You can wager your determination, and that's what these chips are used for.
Okay, they look like poker chips.
It's essentially
really cool.
poker chips.
Wow, that's legit.
Then we have...
so what's this guy?
This is our GM screen.
And meaning shield, so that the other players don't see your documentation, right?
So you hold this, so you're behind this at the table, rolling your dice, right?
CO2s!
And then on the opposite side that's facing the gate master, you have all the helpful statistics and information that a GM would need to basically quickly reference that while they're playing.
Replicators, you got a pyramid ship. It's all decked out. Now, who did the art?
Art is a combination of Wes actually doing it,
okay,
and we have a whole ton of artists. I did the graphical design and layout. That's kind of my forte.
Okay. That's legit. That is so cool. And we got more figures down here, which we'll talk with Wes about. Yep. The Earth symbol is actually for the Stargate here, and there's a reason why for that, which we'll be getting to in just a minute, which I just discovered. And I've been working on this project with them, like to assist with canon and stuff like that for nearly 2 years. I didn't even know about the next item until friggin' today. So
these are item cards. When you're a GM and you say to the player, hey, you just found some C4. You can hand them the C4 card, and it's got all the stats on it.
There's also an Naquita reactor in there somewhere too. I mean, it was just like...
There's, flamethrowers, there's...
standard military stuff.
Shotguns, there's warhammers, because you might need that.
It's Norse, so, you got...
This is a reference card that shows you what you can take, what's in your base kit. So it's just really helpful reference information.
The art is so well done, and the quality of the construction, they even tolerate being thrown on the floor, is really, really well done. So you got your Naquita generators over here. You got your Tacuna Tagaminitrons, TACs, TERs, the GDOs, and your ZATs. So a bunch of really, really cool stuff that comes into the gameplay as you guys go along. And I think we're going to bring in the gentleman who is responsible for a lot of these miniatures here, Mr. Wesley Walker. How are you, sir?
Doing good, doing good.
Thank you for being here this weekend.
Some questions.
Tell us a little bit about your thoughts behind some of these. We got Jaffa. I'm assuming some of these are Gould.
Yes, we have the Achuran Gwauld Queen here. We have Bastet, and then we have Wepawet. So these are our three, right now in the season arc that we have, these are our three main Gwauld system lords.
The Achuran, which is the new species that you guys introduced, who were kind of cultivated by the Nox in the mythology, because the Nox, they're pacifists. I mean, we're allies with them, but they don't participate with us at all. They kind of bred or assisted in the development of a race.
So the
and the
Achuran,
Gould got one.
Right, the Achuran, they were a warring race originally.
Okay.
And in lore, that way we have it is about 1,000 years back, they were basically to the point of destruction. They had a particular head person that reached out to the Nox and said, "We're gonna be destroyed if we don't get any help." And the Achuran actually did something they are not known for, and they actually did decide to help these people.
Oh, the Nox did.
The Nox did, yes.
Wow. Okay.
But with that being said, this one ended up getting symbioted.
A snake.
Yes.
All right.
So that is our queen.
Okay.
And then we have we have some of these Jaffa that don't have any helmets on.
And these Stargate themed bases that have all 9 chevrons. The paint detail, I love the craftsmanship.
Oh,
Look
yes,
at the
yes.
color and the designs there. You know, I'm guessing this is Achuran script, or is it Gould? Is that the intention? I should know different, but I don't. I should know better. But it's the craftsmanship is just insane. Just the bases alone are so cool. So, how many of these little characters were created for the game?
For the game, we created 26.
Wow.
We have our DHD, and so I have added the details on the DHD. Definitely the gate symbol, the Phoenix sight symbol, and we have the lines. You don't usually see these lines on any DHDs that are downloadable. You don't usually see any of these table lines. But at a later time, I will be adding the engraving lines in the DHD's base.
Got it.
Just trying to meet a deadline.
Look at that patina. That is just so cool.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, you hinted at, so the reason that the Earth symbol here is on the ground, if you guys could come this way, the reason for that up here in the design of your gate.
Correct. The Phoenix sight symbol.
Okay. And that's under the Chevron 7 position, so that is unique to the Phoenix base.
Correct. That is unique to the Phoenix base.
Now, what's the inspiration for that symbol? Is it a phoenix?
To be honest with you, that was left to our artist.
Okay.
He came up with that symbol.
All right.
He's not here.
Okay.
But yeah, Wayne Miller, he came up with that symbol for us.
Tell us about building this thing.
Aside from it being a nightmare, let's see here. I built it out of pink panther foam.
Literally, you pull this thing off, the tooths that connect it together, it says property of MGM.
Yeah, it has the
That is
Panther
not, it's
picture.
complete coincidence.
So yeah, I built a jig, this ginormous jig in this small garage, and with a hot wire, which actually the mechanism that is powering the lights right now is the mechanism that was used for the hot wire. But then I went ahead and cut all these pieces with that hot wire. And these symbols, actually, my niece, she has a laser cutter. She went ahead and laser cut these out of wood. And the paint job was done by Brad's cousin. What's his company? Hybrid Image. So he's a professional airbrusher.
Wow.
And he airbrushed the symbol, the gate for us. But
He did a good job making it
Oh.
accurate to the show.
absolutely. But it took me about 2 months to cut everything to size, and then it took the painter a month to do his painting, and then after that it took about another 3 weeks to glue and assemble and install. and final product here for con. We have some wrinkles right now. We're going to go ahead and pull those wrinkles out here in a minute. But we originally had 2 short throw projectors that were going to create a the whole ID of the inside here was going to be the event horizon and the kawoosh whenever activated. I do have a Raspberry Pi that I also programmed a script for activating the lights in sequence the way that they would in the show.
All right.
And then, of course, in correlation with the video, so as that 7th chevron activated, it would have the kawoosh. But we had so much product that we didn't have any room to put our projectors in the back. So as a quick fix, I went ahead and just have all the lights on. So it's got that activated look. And the event horizon that we got going on right now is one of those $20 projector things you shine on your ceiling to give you that peaceful look on your ceiling. So,
hey, any port, any storm.
yes.
You know, makes it work, even on Phoenix site.
Yes.
Well, are you pleased with the blood, sweat, and tears being put into this thing for the final product as it is now and is going to be envisioned as finally being this weekend?
I'm a perfectionist, and
okay, so it's going to drive you nuts.
it's going to drive me nuts.
At least he's honest.
Now there is a mini that I would like to actually focus on, and that is the Stargate.
Oh, look at that! It's magnetic.
So
How cool is this? You can like lay it flat if the
Oh,
mission
yeah.
needs be, or
you can also add whatever platform you wanted to add to it. That was the intention. Instead of making the gate where it was covered, and people didn't have that choice of a platform, I wanted to have a complete gate that they could always choose where they wanted to be at, whether they wanted to build a ramp or they wanted to build a stone plinth to go up, or so that's why I wanted to make a complete gate. But on top of that, from my search on the internet, I had to add so much detail to a gate that I did not find on the internet at all.
right.
There's no STLs that have these
Yeah, the little Bajoran kind of logo.
right
to 'em.
the,
yeah.
these symbols here. We'll walk over here and I'll point. But, so these lines right here, thank you. I added those in here. I added all of these hash marks here, like this.
Yeah, the ancient kind of like lines.
Also, these flat engraving lines here, like this. None of these things you see in any of these gates that are currently downloadable online. And if you look hard enough, this was printed on a Mono X with Anycubic Basic. It's the cheap basic resin that you can buy.
Okay.
It's not the expensive stuff.
Now, is that a 3D printer?
It is a 3D
Okay.
printer, but you can actually see the squiggle lines in here if you look hard enough.
It is so
And it's these lines
captured.
here.
Wow.
So, and then something else that no other models on the internet have are these.
The kind of the trim.
This texture
Right, exactly.
that's here. And then on the back side, again, highly
correct.
detailed back.
Yeah. So even in a lot of the Stargate episodes later on, the front and the back are duplicated. But if you actually look at the back of the Atlantis and SG-1 gates, it is this design that has been taken from the movie. These kind of inverse chevrons here. So that is canonically accurate. So very cool.
So yeah, and I mean that's I was trying my hardest to make even though it's a mini for a game, I wanted to make a model that someone could, if they wanted to, make a very, very, very large version of it.
Now, is this fish tank safe? Can people put this in their fish tanks? Because I see a lot of people
is-
doing that.
It is not recommended
Do not do that.
for any resin to go in any type of fish tank.
Do not do that. Do you plan on taking this to future events?
Oh, by all means, yes.
Okay.
That is my goal if it'll make it.
Very good. All right. Thank you, sir. I
Thank you.
appreciate your time. Come with me here because I want to introduce you to someone. This is Seth. He's one of our guys this weekend.
Hi.
How you doing, man?
Good.
You having a good time?
Yes.
All right. And you were actually Air Force?
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I am well. I wanted Samantha to introduce someone who is very important to the Wyvern family, to us, for those who are at home. If you look here, Philip Kevin Lawyer. This book is dedicated to him, the project essentially, and he is represented in the game by Phoenix Site General Hammond's contemporary, PK Lawyer, a 2-star general. He commands the off-world Phoenix Site. So this is your late husband, correct?
Yes, he passed away back in 2018 to a heart attack.
Okay. And so he was a big Stargate fan.
Oh, he was a huge Stargate fan. Since we first created the company Wyvern Gaming, he wanted to do an RPG, and not just an RPG. He wanted to do a Stargate RPG. We tried once before to get the license for Stargate, and we were denied. And so we went about doing the board games and card games, and then he tried again, and we got approval for the license. We learned about it the Friday after he passed away.
So he just didn't find out.
Yes, they broke the news to me during his memorial this is part of his legacy kind of.
How was that?
Emotional?
I would imagine so.
It was heartbreaking because this was his dream, and at the same time we're not going to let this dream die. No matter what, we are going to push it through until we release the
No matter
game.
what happens.
No matter what happens, we were going to push this all the way through until his dream was realized, and the game he would have wanted to create, the game he would have wanted to play, was out on the market.
And you've made it happen. So
Yes.
to be able to have it, you guys have willed it into a solid reality with the memory of someone very important fueling that fire. That must be extremely gratifying.
It is. It was. So I wasn't here at the booth at the time when it happened, but I saw pictures of someone who actually dressed up as a general lawyer and
As the general in the game.
General in the game. In all of his games, he put himself into the game. So as a memorial, we put him into the game as well. And to have somebody actually dress up as him, he would have been thrilled. And it brought tears to my eyes when I saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations. Job well done. I've been watching this project slowly watered and given sunlight over 2
Yes.
years. To be able to be here and experience this with all you guys at the official launch is such a dream come true for me, and I really thank you for that opportunity as well.
No, it's thank you, and thank you for all your help and everything
Absolutely.
you've done for us.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure, and I love this fan base because everybody pitched in, and
It is a family.
yes, it really is.
Yep. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dial the Gate. I'm David Reed with Samantha Lawyer here, and we'll be joining you throughout the weekend with some more exclusives. See you on the other side. Thank you for watching this clip from Dial the Gate. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving us a thumbs up with that like button. It will encourage the algorithm to show this to other Stargate fans. Also, please consider sending this to a fellow Stargate friend. I also want to invite you to subscribe to future episodes right here on YouTube. We are a live show, so changes are likely to happen all the time. And if you plan on joining us live, you'll want to be the first to know. Be sure to visit dialthegate.com for the complete guest schedule so you'll know when to join us and ask your very own questions to our guests. See you on the other side. So this is Samantha Lawyer.
Hi.
Exhibitors, the time is now 6:30. The exhibit hall will be closing at 7 p.m. It will reopen for you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and your booth must be show ready by 9:45. Also a reminder that masks are required in all indoor spaces and any permanent outdoor Gen Con spaces.
Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I am well.